OneNote Tutorial for Beginners Complete Guide. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll break down OneNote step by step. We're going to learn everything from downloading OneNote, creating our first notebook, and much more. So let's jump right in. Now, OneNote is an online note-taking application created by Microsoft. This particular application allows you to take notes directly on your web browser, or you can download OneNote for your PC or Mac. Now, it's available both for any type of Windows 7 or above or Mac operating systems. To download OneNote for free on Mac, you can just open up the Apple Store or the App Store on Mac and then just search for OneNote over here. Once you search for OneNote, you can just click on Microsoft OneNote and download this. And if you're on Windows, just search for OneNote and just click on free download over here. Now, once you have downloaded OneNote, you will see your first empty section. Now, to get started, you have to create your first notebook. And in this particular tutorial, we're going to go by this order. So first off, we're going to add our notebook, sections, and pages, and then we're going to adjust views and section groups. So to get started, first off, we have to create our notebook. To build our first new notebook, click on the top left file icon. Now, for Windows users, you're directly going to have this toolbar present within OneNote, and for Mac users, it's going to be your native toolbar on the top of your Mac. So click on New Notebook over here, and you're going to create your first new notebook. I'm going to create it in a magenta color, and this is going to be my candy bar meeting or candy bar company. And now I can choose where I want to store this info or notebook info. So I want to store this in my personal OneDrive account, and now I'll click on Create. Once you do that, it will start creating your notebook on OneNote. Now we're just going to wait, and once our notebook has been created, you guys can see this is our candy bar company. We can get started with adding sections. So within a notebook on the left, you will find a section for sections, and within sections, you can add pages. So a notebook has these sections, and sections have their own pages. Now you can see on the top left, a default section and page will be created. You can click on the new section over here and name the section. So let's say this is our section over here, and I'm going to do a right click and click on rename. Once we do that, this might be it's 29 March or 28 March, like this, and this is the section for the 28th of March. Then I can build different pages for the different companies I might be handling. So first off, for the first page, I can create the company name of, let's say, Mars Bars. And after that, I can click on Add Page and add a secondary page. So let's say this is Snickers over here. Now, if I want to create a new section, I can click on Add Section on the left. And once I do that, I can add a separate section for 29th of March like this. And in this way, you can build your own sections and pages. Now, once you have built your sections and pages, you can adjust the view of how you are looking at your OneNote application. So, if you want to customize your view on OneNote, first off, open up the section that you want to customize the view of. Once you do that, you can see a view button on the top left over here. Now, once you click on the view button, you have a few different options. Now, keep in mind that if you are using a Mac device, you will also have a view button on the top. You can have the same functionalities on both of these view buttons, so it really doesn't matter on what type of button you click on. So for this, you can see you have the options of new windows, switching the background with a dark background, which is basically the version of night mode. And this is the night mode that they provide on OneNote. You can customize this further as well. You also have immersive reading, page versions that you can convert back to, as well as paper color. So I'll add a light paper color to Mars Bars over here. You can also add a paper style if you want lined paper, and you can also hide the page title from a note. You can also hide the authors, as well as add live captions. Now, once you have customized your notebook, as well as sections, pages, and your viewership, the next step is to create section groups. So in this way, that you can categorize different types of sections together. So for that, you guys can see we have two different sections over here. And you will see you have the option to open in a new window. You have a section color and you can click on new section group. And let's say this is going to be meeting briefs like this. And I will move both 29th of March and then 28th of March under meeting briefs. Now, whenever I have to access my meeting briefs for the 29th, I can open that up, and I have to access the 28th, I can open that up. Instead of having a segregated section displayed, I can go on ahead, create a new section, which might be different from a meeting brief. So let's say this is going to be a canceled projects like this, and I can remove that from this particular section group. So I can click on new section group over here and move it to that particular group. And in this way, you can categorize different sections on OneNote. Now, once you have sectioned off your separate sections and pages, the next step is to start adding content, templates, and tags. So let's jump right in. So how can we add content into our note? Well, first off, I'll open up the 28th March note. Once you open up a note, when you start writing by default, it will create a note. And if you want to write a simple note, so I want to maybe add a description of the meeting, info, meeting with the key executives of Mars Bars, potentially negotiating a deal for supplying their sugar, like this. And I'm just going to fix my spellings over here. And a default note will be created. You can customize the size of this note like this. And if you want to make it a bit more interesting, you can select the entirety of the note and then click on Format on the top. You can click on Styles and change the style as well as customize the font. So if I want to customize the font, I can select the font from the top left. So let's say I want to use this font over here and I'll make it bold as well. Then I can also choose the alignment. So after that, I can place that at the top. Now, once I have inserted some basic info, I have a lot of different things I can use to further optimize my note taking. For example, I can click on File over here and you will see you have section groups, notebooks, but if you click on Insert, you have the option to insert tables, files, printouts, pictures, date and time, link, equations, and shapes. So what I will do is I will add a file over here, and this could be any file. Let's say this is some file related to this project, so I can click on Open. And then I can insert as a attachment, as a printout, or upload it to OneDrive and then insert that as a link. So I can click on OK, and now this is converting my file into a PDF, and now it has inserted my file. So once I've done that, I will delete the Word version of this. I'll hide this because it's not necessary. Click on Cut, and I can click on Cut over here, and I just have this little image version that I can resize and place in like this. And obviously you can resize this to be larger to make it display visible. Now, after that, let's go on ahead and start inserting some other sections. So to get started with note taking, you can go on ahead, click on Insert, and after Files, you can also insert shapes. So if you open up the Shapes section over here, you have a bunch of different shapes that you can insert. Like this, you can insert circles, you can choose the line color as well as the weight of the lines. So let's say I want to build a project cycle, then I want to click on arrow over here, and I want to build some arrows like this. And once I add my arrows, I can formulate the arrows a little by going into the shape format. I'll customize the arrow sizes a bit. And after that, I can place them like so. I think a bit of a squared arrow would work better for that, like so. And we can place it like this and do Command C, Command V, place it over here, rotate the direction over here like this. And I will change the line color to a different line color so it's visible over the circle. And then I'll use a black color to denote this. And you can, build any type of info box with this. So let's say this is going to be some basic info about customer interest like this. And I'll just insert this section over here. And then I have another section on top, which I might want to insert. So customer interest as well as product clicks like this. So both of these things go hand in hand and we can have like a visual representation of that. This is a very simple representation of that. Now, the next thing we want to learn is how to add different types of fields. So after we add some content, we can add different types of templates and tags to organize those content. Now, for our content elements, we can also insert links and start building a to-do list. So to show you guys everything, I'll actually convert this text doc into a to-do list. So enter whatever text you want, and then in your home section, click on to-do over here, and this will automatically convert everything into a to-do list. So however you have arranged the text, it will take every individual line and convert that individual line into a to-do section. Now, okay, we've added a to-do list, but how can we insert tags and what is the purpose of a tag in OneNote? Well, when you are managing a large note-taking tool, it's very important to have labels for different types of notes. So one might be notes for your business revenues, one might be notes for your ad creatives, one might be notes for your personal tasks. So let's say I have a section called personal life, and I can go on ahead and rename this section into personal stuff like this. And let's say that I want to, use a tag to segregate these things. To do that, you can click on any item and you will see this option on the left for a lot of your items. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into format once you select the item, and then you can choose the particular type of tag. Now you can see you have remember for later, question, important, to do, TikTok content stream, and this is a tag I've created. So how can you create your own tags? Well, if you want to create your own tags, you can see on the top left, you have your tags. So open up your tags from the top, and once you open up your tags from the top, click on create new tag. Once you do that, you can create a new tag of your own. So let's say I want to mark things as potential leads, and I want to use a book icon for this, and then I can click on create. Now, whenever I feel like there is a particular section that is going to be a potential lead, I can go on ahead and use this label to mark them as a potential lead. Now, once you have learned how to build your templates, tags, and to-do lists, the next thing you need to know is how can you insert a link into your particular OneNote. So let's say for Mars bars, I want it to directly lead to the Mars website. I can select the text and click on insert on the top and then click on link. Once you do that, you can click on the web address that you want to link it to. Click on OK over here, and if someone clicks on Mars bars over here, it has led us to mar.com. I think I had to spell Mars, but I just spelled in Mar. But I'll just change that now, and I'll go on ahead and I'll do a right click. Once I do a right click, I'll click on remove link to remove the link. Now I'll reselect it and then click on insert. Click on link over here, and we're going to add mars.com. I hope this is the chocolate website. If it's not, then I'm gonna be disappointed. But no, this is not the chocolate bar of Mars. I don't know what they're Mars chocolate. And yeah, Mars Co. UK. Yeah, this is the one that I was looking for. So yeah, you can, link any type of web address to your personal store, to the potential client store, to any web address that you would like into your OneNote. Now, after that, the next thing we need to learn is how can we start using drawing tools? So to start using drawing tools, we can go on ahead and get started with the draw section on the top. Now, first off, you have a text mode. Then you have insert space, where you can insert some space to all the elements like this. Then after that, you have the option of erasers, then pens, markers, highlights. And let's say with a pen, I want to just build like a section like this. And once I build a section like this, let's say I build like a empty text block, like a list over here. This is a very horrible list. Now you can go into text mode and start writing in these little sections. And these are awful. I totally understand that. But I can, move this shape as well. And you can click on arrange, you can rotate this shape, move it, resize it, delete it. That's totally up to you. Plus, you can erase certain elements as well. And you can doodle on it, because who does not doodle on their notes? I have doodles all over all of my notes that I take during class. So having a note taking app online without any doodling options is something I could not imagine. I love making my ugly flowers, so I'll just make a couple of those like this. And you can choose different colors over here, customize your ink color as well, like this. And I'll insert, some color into these. Such lovely flowers that I'm building. You also have markers and highlighters. So this can be important for your documents. I'll go into text mode again and I'll expand this document. And let's say I have something important to highlight. So I can just highlight this, content relevance, let's say coherence is really important, like this. So whatever I want to highlight, I can highlight that over here, like this, like this. I can also use a marker to underline things. I can use a pen to underline documents. And this is why the drawing tools are actually really important, other than just, you drawing doodles or me drawing doodles, which is honestly what you're going to see me using them most of the time. But once we have learned this, I am going to go back into our text mode. It's time to delete our little image over here. And now let's get started with the remainder of our features. So if you're tired of looking at a bright version, you can go on ahead, go into view and click on switch background to get a color reverse. Then if you want, you can also create a password protected note. So you can password protect a certain section, or if you want, you can't password protect pages, you can password protect this section groups. Yeah, so you can password protect a particular section group or a particular section. So let's say the meeting on the 28th of March was really important and I don't want everyone to have access to that. So to password protect it, I can either do a right click and then click on password protection and click on protect this section. Or if you want, you can go into 28th March or, the section name and then click on view. Once you do that, click on password protection and click on protect current section. You can use a password and you can go on ahead and enter that. So let's say it's 099. Yeah, that's the password I'm going for, and click on set password. Now, once you do that, keep in mind that this password is non-recoverable. So if you forget it, you forget it. You won't be able to find it again. Now, another really amazing tool that you're going to find directly in OneNote is their language translator. So you can translate any section that you want. Let's say we have this section over here, and this is English. And let's say I want to translate this into Romanian. And now this is going to translate into Romanian. Now, obviously, the translations might not be perfect, but they are way better than having no translations at all. Plus, you can also create live captions. So live captions can be a great way for you to write down notes or jot down notes in a hurry, which basically means that it transcribes for you. Now, other than that, you also have the options to view it, zoom out to view the entire note, as well as customize your paper styles later as well if you want. And with that, you also have the option to share certain sections or pages with other people. Now, you have the option to collaborate with others as well as share your notes. So you can click on, let's say I have this note over here, and I can click on share on the top right. Now I can send a copy of the page, or I can copy the link to the notebook and invite people, or invite people directly by email to join this particular notebook. And let's say I want to invite people, let people only view Mars bars. I can click on Mars bars, do a right click, and yeah, once I enter Mars bars, I can click on share, click on send copy of page, and I will have a PDF version of my notes that I can send to other people. This is great if someone asks you for your notes and you don't want to share your entire OneNote with them, obviously. So you can just send them a PDF version of the page that you wrote down. And you can also take any sections later on, convert them into different types of lists, numbered lists, or simple text again. And if you have any font customizations, you can clear all formatting of your fonts and then format them later on as well. Including that, you can also go into Edit and click on Clear All Formatting to remove any type of formatting that you have inserted to get started from scratch as well. Plus, if you want, you can switch your paper styles directly from the top left, as well as insert tables, files, printouts, pictures, and I'll show you guys how to insert a picture. Just click on Insert, click on Picture, and you can select the picture you want to insert. Once you have the picture ready, you can go on ahead, move it anywhere you want, like this. Now, next up, you also have the options to formulate your style in your notes. And in your notebooks, you can also view your deleted notes as well as empty your deleted notes. You also have the options to rename your section groups as well as delete sections and add password protections. Plus, for pages, you can go ahead and go into Pages on the top, then click on Set as Default Template, and it will take your default formatting, such as the color, the lines, as a default. So you can click on Add Page, and when you add a new page, you will find all of this info is going to be directly replicated into the new page. If you want to remove a default template, you can go ahead and go into your formatting. And in your formatting, you will have format. In your sections, you will have your pages, and then in your pages, you can click on a empty page and set that as the new default page. Now, after that, you also have tools that you can use, such as spelling and readability, as well as window options. And lastly, you also have a dictation option. So you can dictate your note and you can allow them access to write down whatever you're saying. So let's let the OneNote application write down whatever we are saying because we can let it. And let's take a look at how accurate it is. It's really accurate. You guys can see it's writing down everything that I'm saying, and that is now the title of our note. But this is how you can get started with note taking on OneNote, because a lot of times people don't have the time. You can't really put in so much time into writing down notes when you're in a meeting, when you're working. It's really not that easy to write down notes. So you can use the Dictation app to write down the entire notes, and then later on, you can go on ahead and customize those notes. So you can make, any changes to the notes later on. Now, with that in mind, keep in mind that all of these features are accessible on the web version as well. So if I log into the web version of OneNote with the same account, I'll go on ahead and log into my account on the web version. I'm going to have all of this data synced in because it is bounded by the account. So if my internet is turned on and OneNote is syncing, it will actually sync up my OneNote onto my browser version as well. So I'll just go into OneNote over here, click on OneNote over here, and I'll just log into my OneNote account on my desktop browser as well. So you guys can see this is my notebook. We have the candy bar company. If I open up the candy bar company, I will have all of the pages that we created and the sections as well. So you guys can see we have these section groups. We have our meeting briefs. If I open up meeting briefs, I have 28th March, and all of my features are the same on the desktop version. And this can be great because whenever you are using a foreign computer, you might not have access or the ability to download the entire application of OneNote over and over again. So if you're using a different device, if you don't have access to your devices, or you're using a computer from work or university or school, then you can easily log on the desktop version, access all of your notes, and then log out at the end to make sure that all of your data and info remains secure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you are now able to get started with OneNote. It's definitely an amazing app considering it's available completely for free and can help you in improving your daily workflows. If you did find this video enjoyable, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or queries, leave those in the comment box down below. I would love to know what you guys have to say.